Next on our program is Colleen Fakalogotoa, who is passionate about nurturing whānau with young children as they launch into life. Colleen is a registered nurse with a strong nursing background. She began her career as a well child nurse and has held leadership positions in the well child specialty area, nurse advisory and management. She has also worked as a senior nurse and manager within the South Auckland community and eventually became the general manager of operations for the Royal Plunket New Zealand Society. Colleen, the CEO of Family Start Manukau, said Family Start is about supporting families during the early, often fragile stage of family life. That time of life for families when their children are so small and the family can feel enormously vulnerable financially, socially, psychologically and emotionally is also a time when children are undergoing terrific and significant development. In Family Start, we can work with families to enable their children to reach their potential and support families at a vulnerable time to develop their strength. They need support and input to reach their full potential. Isn't that why we're all here? Welcome, Colleen.
Whakalopalahi atu, talofalava, malolale, kia orana, bulavanaka, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. And greetings from Manukau. It's really great to be here with you today. It's customary in our organisation just to talk a little bit about yourself, and just to give us a place and time, and then we talk a little bit about our structure as an organisation, and then I want to talk about some things that are quite close to my heart in working in the community. I'm Colleen, and my first name will tell you that I'm Irish. I have strong Irish links. My father is an Irishman from Larne in County Antrim, the north of Ireland, and my mother is from the south of England, from Somerset. She's from a farming community, and my father was from a farming community too. We came to New Zealand when I was a child, about 7, and I lived in Wellington, and I lived in Christchurch and Nelson, and then Auckland. I have 2 children. One is 25 at the end of the month, and he's in Melbourne. He's been over there trying to seek his fortune. He had got 2 degrees and is doing absolutely nothing with them, and he's working in a shop over there, and he's very happy. And I have a daughter who's here in Wellington. She's expecting our first grandchild in September, and we're just so excited about that. And that whole family thing, it just doesn't get better than that. She's married to a Fijian. My son-in-law's family is from Singatoka in Fiji. And it was a very special process. Those 2 getting married, the family did the traditional presenting of the whale's tooth. And it was a very big event for us and made our daughter feel very special, so just acknowledge that. So my husband is from Niue, and from a little village called Mutalo, and he came over here when he was 7, and he had some pretty awful tales to tell of what it was like trying to settle in New Zealand in the 70s, and that was pretty tough for him. His job, he's a security guard outside the WINS offices in Clendon, and Clendon and Mandarewa is the new Otara, and it's pretty rough out there. They've got to have a security guard at the WINS office, and so my husband is in his own way working with the community. The kids who come into WINS know him, they say hi, and he says hi to them, and we feel very strongly and passionately about our community. Now, I better stop gabbing, because that's me. I want to talk to you a little bit about Family Start Manukau. Family Start Manukau has been going for about 5 years, and it started with nothing. We had a hired plastic trestle table and 6 hired chairs, and we had a phone cord that came out of the wall onto the floor, and that was our first day, and we had our contract, and they said, go do. So we had to go do. There's now about 62 staff. and I'll describe them in a moment. I want to be able to talk to you a little bit about us, but not a lot, because we're an organisation like all the other organisations. But some of the things that we've learned is what I really want to talk to you about. That's our vision. Whānau Manaki Tangata, caring for whānau safe children, that's important. We believe that if we can support the families, then the children will develop and reach their potential. And we want our young families to overcome the barriers which hold them back. We're a non-government organisation, we're an NGO. We were founded in 2005 by 3 organisations. Te Kopinga Ohotoroa Charitable Trust is a PHO, primary health organisation, and Māori, and they want Family Start Manukau to do 100% for our Māori people in Manukau. We also have Ta Pacifica Health Trust, and they want us to do 100% for Pacifica in Manukau. And the Royal New Zealand Plunket Society composes the other third of our board and our foundation, and they want to do 100% for children and babies and families in Manukau. So we all get on. We all know what we're about. So we're funded to get that job done. Our chair of our organisation is the newly Dame Timuranga June Jackson, and she is formidable, and she'll be quite clear about having our understanding opened about what we should be doing for a Māori family, so she keeps us in check. These are the contract aims from MSD. That's just come straight out of the contract. Find the families that should be in the service, provide a whānau worker to work with those families and access the services they need, and then work intensively with that family. That's basically what that's about. There's some long-term goals, make things a whole lot better for those children and for those families. Our measures are related to the children more than the adults. And it's got some short-term goals, and on the way we need to make sure that the education, the well-being and the health outcomes are achieved. Things like immunisation, things like being enrolled in early childhood centres, things like not having family violence, wrecking these kids' psyches. We have parents, we want to improve their parenting capability and their practice, and we want to improve their family circumstances and improve their income and so on. So that's what the contract is asking us to do. I'm trying to give some context for you. This here is, you'll recognise Whare Tapu Whā, but in terms of our own organisation, our goal is well-being for all children through responsible parenting, and that gives a bit of a potama and a pathway to making that happen. And it looks really nice and neat and tidy, and reality is not like that. But, you know, that's a kind of a process that we go through. This is our staff on the left-hand side. So 20% of our staff are Māori, 14% are Pacifica, 6% are Indian or Asian, and 9% are European. And our clientele, 36% are Māori, 42% are Pacific, 11% are European, 6% are Asian. Recruitment's never easy. And we used to, when we first started, when we had not very much, we would recruit just about anyone who came in the door that we thought could do the job. We learned pretty soon that that's not the way you do it. We made lots of mistakes, and that was the biggest one. What we had to realise was that we had to get the right ethnicity, absolutely, and we're still working on that one, and we do pretty well, but we can do better. But we've also got to get the right skills and experience and attitude and everything. So our people are very special. My staff are very special. Now that's enough about us. I'm going to talk now about, this is all going to be quite conceptual. I'm going to talk about my key message here. You've heard of the Ngā Kaupapa o Moemoeā. You would have seen it in posters. It came out maybe 4 or 5 years ago, was put out by MSD. It was put together by a community volunteer group. And this is the poster condensed into a bunch of bullet points.